And I want to tell her as a starter that the initiatives that work are the initiatives when the major or the first driving force is not there to support directly, and it still works. So this is the demonstration that your initiative is working, that it doesn't need necessarily your presence, but of course your presence is needed in the next big events and for developing this wonderful initiative. Why does the President of Georgia come to support such a conference? I think that it represents everything that we need for Georgia today. First of all, globalize. We need to be a part of the global world. Some people might want to isolate us. Some people might want to see a Georgia that would be turning back in and backwards. But if Georgia has to exist in the future world, it has to become part of the global world. It is a small country, but you will agree with me that for a small country, we are very present in certain fields, whether it's wine or sports or culture, and technology. It has always been the case that Georgians were very innovative. And first, when I entered Georgian politics, I was surprised by the number of people, aged people, middle age or more, that were coming with packs of documents under the arm with different innovation that of course didn't go anywhere because these were ideas. And at that time, there was no real way forward to develop something that was a mere idea into a practical initiative and to a practical business. And that's what is happening today in the world, that you can turn ideas into reality and into one of the instruments of development of a country, or not only a country, of a field, and again, as a global instrument. And I'm very happy that in this field, Georgia is starting. Georgia is a startup, and I think it's a successful startup, and we have to make it a successful startup. So here are reunited all the elements that we need for Georgia: innovation, youth, women, technology. We don't have, yesterday I think the representative of the parliament that is here present was saying we don't have natural resources like gas. We have wine, that's a natural resource. No gas, we have some electricity and we could have more. But being a small country, anyway, we do not have that in big amounts. But what we have as a big amount is human power, is human brain, and it's a wish to export Georgia. And I think that every Georgian, and hence the diaspora that is also here represented, every Georgian living abroad, having left the country, coming back, or having chosen another way, always is linked to Georgia and always wants to export a bit of Georgia. And that is a very big resource. And as you know, we have now 1/4 of our population that is outside the borders, which has never existed over the centuries for Georgia. That is a very new element of these last 30, 20 years. And it is a capital. It is a capital if and when we manage to keep the links with the diaspora, and we keep this diaspora engaged into the development of Georgia and Georgian economy or Georgian culture. And this initiative, this venture, is one of the ways to maintain their engagement, their commitment, and increase it, because it makes this link with Georgia interesting and vivid. It's not only helping your family from outside, supporting some social projects, which is very good, but this is becoming part of Georgia's development, becoming part of Georgia's economy. And I'm sure that a very big part of this Georgian diaspora is interested by taking this challenge. We have to offer them the means, and we have to bring this information to them closer so that they know where and in what direction they can be involved. So I think that there is enormous potential in this initiative, and I want to be supportive of this initiative in any ways I can. I said already yesterday to the the organizers that I would welcome if they need at some point in time to use the presidential palace for some event in terms of welcoming investors or welcoming the diaspora members that are most engaged. I would be ready and happy to do that, because that's the use of the presidential palace as an instrument for pushing some of the initiatives that we value. And it's also another element that makes this initiative very valuable, is that it's very free. It's not something that is governmental or directed by government or public. It might be supported, and it should be supported, and I think that the presence of all the representatives and of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, all of that means JITA. It means that it is supported, but it should be free. It should remain what it is, which is based on free initiative, and that's what gives the strength to such initiatives. Finally, I want also to make an announcement that in next July, we are going to have the second edition of our Women's International Conference, which is devoted to the issues of security, peace, and conflicts. And we'll have diverse panels. One of them should be devoted to women and technology. And so there is a place for representatives of this globalized movement in this conference. And I would make a plea. I would be very interested if some of these ideas and innovations were turned towards what can be done using these new technologies, using startups and this global movement in order to surpass the conflicts. How can we use these instruments in dealing with our occupied territories, looking at the future? That's just a question. It's an opener. And finally, I will finish here. I have a small surprise. I want here to call Anna Robakidze. I'm not going to present her to you. I think that everybody here present has heard about you, because I heard about you. Please come here. I have decided as an example and a symbol. I know that there are many other women that are successful, and I don't want to necessarily say that there is only one, but you are today one of the outstanding, and I wish that next conference or next year there will be more and more of your kind, and hence I want to award you the Presidential Medal of Honor as a symbol for all others.